Hi, I'm Josh Oakes, and welcome to MediaLeaders.com. In this Google Hangout, we're going to talk with 5 experts in the PR industry, and they're going to teach us some counterintuitive tips that we can use at brands and small businesses to get press. Now, there's a lot more tips on our blog at MediaLeaders.com. There's 14 tactical tips you can use. You can go to MediaLeaders.com to learn more. But I've got 5 of the experts here on this Google Hangout to talk with us about their individual tips. I'm honored to have them here. First, I'm going to get started with Eric from Hawk Media. Eric, tell us why it's more important, please, to start with a compelling story instead of having a big Rolodex.
Sure. It's really about knowing your audience and honestly the journalists you're reaching out to. So I come from the frame of mind of you really want to handle this in-house, whether it's yourself when you're smaller or have someone you actually bring on to handle your press. And it's about knowing who you're reaching out to. So if you're reaching out to, let's say, a men's blog like Thrillist that we did when I had my company Swag of the Month, they're fun, they're goofy, they want to make a joke out of what they're writing about, they want to get guys' attention. So you want to pitch it in that sense, in the sense that they're going to hit their audience. When you're pitching press, you almost want to write it for them and make sure that there's already a story there that they might tweak it. They might even honestly publish what you send them verbatim, but you want to make it as easy as possible for them to not only connect what your product is and what you're trying to present, but also why it's interesting to their audience. So coming up with a compelling story, not just once, but per audience is really important.
And what would you say is most important, having a big Rolodex or a good story?
The story, absolutely. I mean, in all honesty, the Rolodex, it's a lot of times can get their attention quicker, but if you don't have that compelling story, it doesn't matter how close of a friend you are. You need to have that story that fits their audience because that's what they're in the business of. And from there, you can always open the doors for yourself as well. A lot of them are looking for new stories, regardless of knowing you or not.
Thanks, Eric. Let's jump over to Michelle real quick. Michelle, can you tell us why we should follow just 1 or 2 outlets and get to know them really well and focus our efforts there?
Well, social media isn't new, but it is new to a lot of clients that I come in contact with, and just to get their feet wet and kind of get them started on something that is free for them, all it costs us their time. We often will get them just established on perhaps Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and just try to get them to work on that even a few times a week, every other day, just so they get over that overwhelm that social media seems to cause a lot of smaller companies that just don't have a dedicated person to handle that, and that can get them a long way with their PR efforts.
And are you doing this for some of your clients now?
Yes, and sometimes I manage it for them and do the posting, and sometimes I kind of coach them and help them do their own. In fact, I'll even I'll do a search and send them a story and say, here's a take you could do on this, and so they're not retweeting or reposting, but they're actually putting their own spin on it and making it relevant to their audience.
Thanks, Michelle. And next, from Boston, Massachusetts, we have Zahir. Hey, Zahir, how do you pronounce your company's name?
Pixineo.
Awesome. So Zahir, talk to us about why we should partner.
So I think a lot of times when you're coming right out the gate, you may not, you just by definition aren't a big player in the market, and therefore that also, sometimes you do have a great story, but oftentimes you may have a great company that your value add is a lot more subtle. And I think it's oftentimes very advantageous to partner with really big, powerful players or even medium players in this space and be able to use and leverage their network. So we connect entrepreneurs with designers, so our target market is entrepreneurs. So therefore we'll work with incubators who already have a very long standing with a lot of entrepreneurs, have a lot of rollover with entrepreneurs, and work with them to be able to get our name out there. And then also from a PR perspective, it always looks great for one of these incubators to be like, we're partnering with a new company, Pixineo, to help entrepreneurs with branding. So you can always create PR pieces just from the partnerships themselves.
And are you able to grow quickly by getting so many customers from just one contact with this press technique?
Yeah, absolutely, right? So rather than just nailing down one customer, if you make a good partner, you get all of their 200 past customers, and then every month you're getting another, 30 customers or referrals just from that. Plus you also have the credibility because obviously they have some, and for you to partner with them shows that you're a legitimate an exponential increase in the number of customers you can get your name out to.
Thanks, Zahir. And
welcome.
Next, from New Orleans, we have Flynn. Flynn, talk to us about why we should monitor reporters using a private Twitter list.
Sure. It kind of builds off what Michelle already said, actually, where when you get these reporters and you can put them into segments based off the industries they cover, especially Twitter's great for most industries, but Google Plus is even more perfect for technology because it's such a heavy business there. And what you do is you can track them for weeks or a month before you even contact them, so you understand what kind of pitch they're going for, where they get their ideas from, and how you can almost follow them behind the scenes and they don't realize it, which is way more beneficial than just giving them a cold call and hoping for the best.
Thanks, Flynn. Next, from Columbia, Missouri, we have Mark. Hey, Mark, talk to us about why we should craft our expertise into a well-written guest blog article.
Obviously, you can see the benefits of a guest blog post, whether it be, benefits for you, benefits for your company. Right off the bat, people are going to be perceiving you more as a thought leader. Regardless of what you actually do in your industry, they're going to take that content, and see you as an expert in what you're writing about. Sometimes, there are a lot of niche sites where it's really easy. If you write a guest blog post that has good content, is well written, you can submit it to them and you can get in there right away. You don't even need to have the connections. They value the content. They're ready to put that live. There are a lot of sites where you can do that. But then there's also sites where it may be a little more difficult to get in, where you may have to have the connections. You may have to have, you have to be in the know with how to get in. We've recently been using a company called Influence & Co. To get our posts into sites. We've recently been mentioned in Forbes, the Next Web, and we've also, I've gotten some of my posts on Under 30 CEO and Social Media Today. The great thing is they actually work with you to generate most of that content, so it does save you time. So that's been a tremendous benefit for us. We've seen the traffic to our site actually double since we've been working with them, and since we've been working on our own to get into some of the smaller sites too.
Thanks, Mark. I want to give a little shout out to the 5 guest experts that we have here today sharing their tactical tips on how to get press for brands and small businesses. Give a shout out to Eric, Michelle, Zahir, Flynn, and Mark. You guys are awesome. Really, thank you so much for being out here. I'm Josh Oakes. You can learn more at MediaLeaders.com. This has been a guest blog post from 14 different contributors coming together, 5 of them being on this video. So honored to have them all. You can learn more at MediaLeaders.com or by clicking the link below this video. I'm Josh Oakes. I look forward to seeing you in the future. As always, keep it light, bright, and polite. Have a great day.